It feels very good to be inducted before you are dead. Seriously. I was born the oldest of 8 children, and I learned a great number of things from my parents. One of them is that you have to work hard to succeed. 2, that good education is something you have to go through to grow up. Also taught me about humility. And as I reflect to what's happening tonight to me, I said, you have to really look back and see how many gifts you were given along the way, how many opportunities you were given along the way that help you accomplish what apparently I'm getting credit for to justify my induction tonight with other very famous pioneers of the industry. I learned from, beside hard work, my mother would say, of all my kids, Francois est le manuel. It means that I was a handy guy, interested in doing things with my hand, getting things done, by maybe contrast with other my siblings who were like my dad, were more arts and intellectual liberal arts people. So I am le manuel, and I've been gifted maybe in my genes with the idea that you live to do things and to deliver things, to build things, the good things. And you make a difference in your life by leaving behind things that people can see you have done, and make these things having made a difference in other people's life and your life. I love cars. I love my first moped, worked on it. My mother didn't mind that I would go to an engineering college that gave me the talent and the things I learned from drafting to love for powertrain and engines. I was lucky in a way to be recognized by Mr. Gordini when I was still in my last year of college, and he entrusted me with a couple of other friends to design my first automobile, first race cars for him. I worked for him, and Renault recognized that I was maybe talented and gave me a chance to prove myself with another friend to design a racing engine. We were less than 30 years old. But I guess, reflecting on that, if it was not for some people having given me the chance, probably my life would have been different. After being successful in motorsport by working hard with other people, I was given a chance by Mr. Anon, the CEO of Renault, to come to Detroit and work for AMC. And another great opportunity that came to me, myself and my wife Marlies were welcomed by the community here and encouraged to work, and I became very much involved in AMC. Got to work and learn Jeep from Royland and other Jeep people. And then we were bought by Chrysler, and I was recognized as maybe an agent for change by Bob Lust and Lee Iacocca, and again, given a chance to prove myself. So I guess a lot of things happened because other people recognized maybe what I possibly could be doing and gave me the chance of doing it. Certainly, nothing would have been possible. People say, behind a successful man, there's always a powerful, smart woman next to you. And Marlies, my wife, has been behind all the way. Not only have one wife, I also 4 daughters that are bright and enthusiastically pushing and demanding of her dad. Going back to the Hall of Fame, when in November of 1988, I was walking to my new office in Island Park in the old engineering building where the chief engineer of Chrysler has resided for tens of years. And as I'm sitting down in my new big desk, in front of me there is a chest. It turned out to be the toolbox of Walter P. Chrysler. And I immediately mentioned that to my mother, and she said, "He must have been a manual like you." Because he made his tools when he was an apprentice in a railroad before joining the car industry. And when I think about Walter P. Chrysler, having learned of his life, having done what he has done with the Musketeers and so on, I realize that many of the things that have made my professional experience effective is learning from past practice from my heroes in the early days of the industry, Henry Ford, and many others like Walter P. Chrysler. Back then, and sometime I've dreamed that I was born maybe 50 years earlier to have lived the enormous, interesting time of the beginning of this big industry. But back then, people were keeping things simple. A car company was made of a leader, a sales guy, and a manufacturing guy, and the three together would sit down and decide what they were going to do and go do it. And over the years, maybe our industry has become too complicated and too complex. And one of the things that Dennis, my friend, referred to is when we worked to try to turn around Chrysler, we didn't reinvent anything. We just looked back at how the things were done in the early days by the people who are populating this great Automotive Hall of Fame. And they were doing things fast, inexpensively, they were close to the customer, and they were working together. It's just what we did. So in a way, I'm rejoining today the people I admire a lot, who have helped me a lot with their ideas and experience. And I thank you very much for being with me tonight. Thank you.